Okay, so jQuery selectors allow you to select and manipulate HTML elements based on their name, ID, class, type, attribute, values of attributes, and much more. It's based on the existing CSS selectors, and in addition, it has some of its own custom selectors. jQuery also has several methods for CSS manipulation, and we will look at some of those in the upcoming videos. All selectors in jQuery start with the $sign and parentheses, and here you can see that we use the asterisk to select all elements on our page. So let's take a look at an example. Okay, so we're back in our editor, and as you can see, I've changed the title to Selectors and CSS, and we're going to take a look at our first example. All right, so let's get our first element here on the page. Give it an ID. So div. All right, so we have a button. Now we're going to put our script below our HTML. So let's open up our script tag. Okay, so now we can do our jQuery in here. So first thing I'm going to do is create an element, a var element. So in JavaScript on a whole, you can create an element called var. So the var keyword. Okay, so instead of having to specify any type, you can just use a var keyword. So I'm going to use var, and we're going to store the element counts. All right, so we're going to get the count of the elements on our page. So I'm going to select my ID here of test, my div rather, with an ID of test. So to do that, we need our double quotations, and then we put our hashtag and test. Then we can use our find function, and we're going to find all. So all the elements within our div with an ID of test, we want to get the count of that element. But first, let us put a border around it. So in CSS, we can use the border keyword, and let's say we want a 3-pixel solid red border. Okay, so we can chain the .length function to the end of this. So now this element count is going to store the number of elements within our div. Now we can select the body of this document. So let's select the body element, and we want to use our prepend function. But before we do this, let us first see if we're getting the length of this document. So in order to get that, we can say we want to print an alert, and we can just say we want our element count. So let us save this and test it out. All right, so we're getting that number back. So 4 elements. So let's check and see if that's correct. Okay, so it's also adding the solid red border to those elements, as you could see. So we do have 4 elements within this div. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to prepend a message to the body element of our document, and we want to wrap it in, let's put it in some h3 tags, and we want the element count. Alright, so let us save this and check it out. So let's go forward. Alright. So we're getting our alert, and we're now getting our message that we attached or prepended to our body element. Okay, so looking good. Let's now add just a little bit of styling to this so that I can see my elements arranged just a little bit better. Okay, so here in our head tag let's add a style tag. Alright, so we're just gonna drop some CSS styling in here. Let me first target a few elements. Okay, so let's start with my div. Span. Let's float them. Let's float them to the left. Let's add some padding. Add a margin. Let's just do 10 px for that too. And then let's do a background color. Let's go into a new line. Kind of a gray touch, so let's save this and let's check out our right. Well, looking a little bit better. At least we're getting our color in the background. So one other thing I wanted to show you was how to select all of the elements. So right now it's only selecting this div with the ID of test. Here we're selecting that test. We can actually select all the elements in our document and it will return that count for us. So in order to do that, we would simply come up here and change this. So we want to change the element count. We're going to select all. Okay, and we no longer need this find function, so we can get rid of this, and we can now get rid of our alert also. Right, so I believe that's all we need. We're going to get the count of all our elements, change the border for it. We're getting the length, and we're going to prepend to the body the element count found. So let's save this. Alright, so we do get 12 elements found in our document. So we're looking a lot better. Alright, so in the next video we'll take a look at some more selectors and also some other functions and animations that you can use in jQuery. So see you in the next video.